Hello and a warm welcome. You're watching a Headlines Today special town hall on women's safety. Riding into the election campaign, candidate Narendra Modi said, "बहुत हुआ नारी पर अत्याचार, अब की बार Modi सरकार." 6 months into Modi sarkar, the nari par atyachar still goes on. Who's to blame? Where are the अच्छे दिन we were promised? That's the question that's raging in the minds of all these young boys and girls who've joined us at the India Today Mediaplex. Very concerned that 2 years after Nirbhaya, we're still where we started from. I want to begin by introducing you to our guests, starting with Brajesh Kalappa from the Congress Party. With us also at this time is Shikha Roy. She's the Vice President of the Bharatiya Janata Party in the capital. Shifali Mishra is the spokesperson for the Aam Aadmi Party. With me here in the studio are two special guests who've come all the way from Rohtak in Haryana. They're the young ladies India knows as the Bravehearts. They're joining us here. Welcome. आप दोनों का बहुत-बहुत स्वागत हमारे इस कार्यक्रम में. We're very keen on knowing what they think is the solution. They've shown one way that cannot be the only way. What way do they believe can these problems be solved? I also want to introduce Mr. Badrinath and Asha Devi. They are known across the country as Nirbhaya's parents because it's around this time that Nirbhaya happened 2 years ago. And between then and now, nothing, unfortunately, seems to have changed for other young girls. I want to ask the first question to Shikha Roy from the Bharatiya Janata Party, because this was your prime ministerial candidate's main election slogan. You said the Congress was no good. You said the Aam Aadmi Party was no good. You said, give me an opportunity, I will fix the problems. बहुत हुआ नारी पर अत्याचार, अब की बार Modi Sarkar. Madam, Modi Sarkar is here. The अत्याचार continues. Why is Prime Minister Modi not able to deliver the safety he promised these young girls?
See, we have to see this problem from many prospects. Firstly, we have to see whether our government has the intention to do this. For that matter, I would like everybody to remember the day of independence when Modi ji from the Lal Killa very evidently, very clearly gave a message to the nation, to the parents, to the society that it is not only girls we have to teach our boys also. What does that mean? That means the intention of the government, that the government is very serious about this issue. As far as the implementation, the steps taken are concerned, if you would like me, I would place before you many facts and figures, because then you would say these are all facts and figures, what has been done? See, only through steps taken I can tell you.
No, tell me what your steps are, because
yes,
at the end of the day, the steps must result in concrete action. Women, when they go out, must feel safer. And let me ask the girls here in the audience, 6 months into Modi Sarkar, do you feel safer than you did earlier?
No.
1 second, let's just take it one by one. Do you feel safer than you did 6 months ago?
No.
Why not?
We are moving out and boys are still doing the same thing.
Okay. So 6 months into Modi Sarkar, whatever steps you've taken, and I'm keen on knowing what you think are the concrete steps you've taken. Don't tell me about announcements. Steps mean concrete action. Yeah. Can you list out in the next 60 seconds, 5 concrete action points your government has put into place?
See, there was a demand that there should be more women police personnel, and for that matter, 1,800 new police personnel have been recruited. They are being trained for the commando force that we are demanding for. Then about the centers, the Nirbhaya centers that we are talking about, 640 districts all over India, and especially 40 more in Delhi, around about 100 in Delhi, places have been identified where Nirbhaya centers would be set up. For that matter, 500 crores has already been sanctioned for those Nirbhaya centers. As far as the dial system, that call system is concerned, there were only 4 lines connected to that. See, I know these are very meager steps. I know what I would be suggesting, everybody would say, what is this? This is meager. But we have to take step on step. The only thing is whether the intention of the government is there to do or not.
Okay, Shifali, the BJP says don't go by concrete action because 6 months is way too little.
No,
Look
I don't say don't go in for concrete actions.
We've displayed
I told
the intention
that these are concrete actions
to
that have
set
been
things
taken.
right. Prime Minister Modi from the ramparts of the Red Fort said, we need to improve, we need to set our boys right. You know, it can't always be the girls' fault, the problems with the boys and the manner in which they're brought up. He's pressing the right buttons, he needs more time. Would you accept that?
I don't accept it. Last year crime rates 1,600 approximately 1,636 girls were raped. It's been 6 months. I need to see concrete action over here. We were promised CCTV, we were promised surveillance, we were promised better manned elevators, we were promised better police force, we were promised better helplines. When we go out onto the streets, we figure out that me, being a Delhi citizen, feels extremely scared post-dark. It is a problem on a day-to-day basis. Delhi's been shamed again. Sadly, we have not learned from anything in terms of the Nirbhaya incident. We would have expected concerted action, very strong statements coming from the political fraternity.
See, I think
it has
in
not
this
come.
very
One
case,
second.
in
No,
this
because I
very
don't want the
case,
netas
a
to
very-
squabble. One second.
Yeah.
Is 6 months enough? You know, first question that I asked everyone was, and this time I want you to put up your hand, okay, so that we can see. Just 1 second, one by one. So my question is, the BJP says 6 months is not enough. Yes, we are taking the steps which will make our cities safer for our young girls. Give us more time. Don't write us off in just 6 months. Do you think Modi should be given more time, or do you think that in 6 months he should have done more? That's my question. So let me ask you, do you think Modi needs more time? How many people say he needs more time? Okay, 1 second. Yes.
Yeah, he needs more time, definitely.
You think 6 months is not enough, so it's not correct to write him off just yet?
Right.
You think so? Okay. Who else feels that do you think 6 months is enough to judge whether he's being able to make a difference, or do you think he needs more time?
He needs more time. Obviously, he needs more time. I don't think. Yes.
Population of over 125. Yeah, so population of over nearly 120 billion. So they need time, and any political parties. So let them give time. But important thing is, in 6 months they should have done at least something.
Are you disappointed with what they've done in the first 6 months?
Yeah, sir, a bit, just a bit.
What are you disappointed about?
I'm not disappointed, but I'm not at all disappointed.
So this thing could have been stopped if the Congress, in that last case, Delhi rape case, if they have done something like
So let me put that question to Brajesh Kalapa, because what our audience by and large seems to suggest, Brajesh, is that these are problems that are the legacy of your party, that these are the problems you've left our cities with. Modi needs more time to fix them. Therefore, if someone is to blame, it is your party and your leadership that must still take the flak. Just one by one. Yes, Brajesh.
Yeah, Rahul, I think one has to understand things in perspective. We have had a lady chief minister for 15 long years. And I'm certain everybody will agree here that a lady could understand the difficulty of another lady far better than
But
anybody
she didn't. I'm sorry,
No, no,
I'm objecting, but she didn't.
I didn't interject when you were speaking.
Yeah, but
I didn't
this is
Allow him to
highly,
complete his
I
argument.
didn't interject. Okay. So the point is that we were faced with this incredibly tough situation as when Nirbhaya happened. And then, Mrs. Gandhi personally went to meet them. And then there was a corpus, a huge corpus of 2,000 crores set aside, right? And of course, that money could not be used because by that time elections had been called, right? So the process
No,
of
once again, this happened almost 2 years ago. Elections were called at the most, you can say, in January, February this year. What explains all of last year being written off and not one penny being spent? And I must tell our viewers this, that of the 2,000 crores that were sanctioned as part of the Nirbhaya fund, very little money has been spent, and that really, Brajesh, is shameful.
Steps had been taken to start the Nirbhaya Crisis Center, the rape crisis centers, and of course there were
Those
a lot.
steps have been taken
Madam, I
after
didn't
July
interject,
16th. See, we should
I
not
didn't
inform
interject
them
you, madam.
wrongly.
I didn't interject.
Only
No, because
after
I think
July
our audience
16th.
wants to look
No,
beyond the BJP
I know,
Congress
I know,
tutu
that's
meme,
right.
okay?
See, facts should be
no,
placed
one
before
second.
the audience.
Facts need to translate
Yes.
into action. Claims by themselves mean
That's what I
nothing.
say, that's what-
Brajesh, go ahead.
Yeah, so there was a superstructure being built, in order to combat this and combat this most effectively. But as you know, things have now come to this pass. But my complaint against the BJP primarily is that, of course, what you said is regarding the promise made by Mr. Modi. But the other point is that there is a gentleman by the name of Nihal Chand Meghwal who continues to remain in the Union Cabinet, right? And this gentleman has charges of rape against him. He is running and he is, trying to somehow subvert the law in Rajasthan, right? So this is a serious
No, this is political point scoring.
I'm sorry. This
It's
is not
completely
not
irrelevant
political.
to these young
I'm sorry,
girls
Rahul. I don't
who
agree
go
with you
out
that
into the
it's
street.
irrelevant.
No, it
I don't
is.
agree with you that it's irrelevant. I'll tell you why I don't agree with you that it's irrelevant. Here is a rape which takes place day before yesterday, right? And another child has been raped by a 60-year-old man in Aman Vihar yesterday, right? So why is this relevant to the point, right? The point is that a rapist who is still facing flak, who's still facing charges, sitting in the union cabinet, what kind of signal does it send to criminals across the board? I'm asking you this
is
question.
political point
No,
scoring.
no,
You have a valid-
political or not?
You have a
Political
valid
or not?
political point.
The point
which makes
is
no difference to the safety of these young girls when they go out. I want to ask Nirbhaya's parents, and I start with Badrinath ji. ये हम देख रहे हैं कि आम आदमी पार्टी ब्लेम कर रही है बीजेपी को, बीजेपी ब्लेम कर रही है कांग्रेस को, कांग्रेस कह रही है मोदी ने कहा उन्होंने किया नहीं. आपको लगता है कि निर्भया की मौत के बाद जो सारे प्रॉमिसेस हुए वो जो फुलफिल नहीं हुए, आपके हिसाब से किसकी गलती है?
देखिए, सबसे पहली तो बड़ी बात यह है कि दोनों पार्टियों को ज्ञान है कि ये क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है, तो अब तक हुआ क्यों नहीं? जब दोनों पार्टियों को ज्ञान है कि हमें ये करना चाहिए, हमें वो करना,
आपके हिसाब से क्यों नहीं हो?
हमारे हिसाब से एक तो केंद्र तो ताकतवर है, केंद्र के पास पुलिस है, लेकिन दिल्ली राज्य के पास पुलिस नहीं है, इसलिए इस पर ब्रेक नहीं लगाया जा सकता. सबसे पहले दिल्ली सरकार को एक फोर्स देनी चाहिए. दूसरी बात है कि जहाँ जहाँ 6 बजे के बाद जहाँ रास्ते ठीक नहीं है वहाँ पर बैंड लगा देना चाहिए कि इस रास्ते से नहीं जाना चाहिए. समस्याएं तो है लेकिन समाधान इसका ढूंढे कौन? हम लोग को तो ढूंढना है. तो हमारे समझ में तो सिर्फ इतना ही आता है कि अगर हमारा सिस्टम सही हो जाता, सिस्टम मतलब ये क्या नाम है आपका, ये क्या बोलते हैं इसको, न्याय प्रणाली, नहीं पुलिस पर नहीं जाऊंगा मैं, न्याय व्यवस्था अगर हमारी सही हो जाती तो ये सबको भुगतना नहीं पड़ता. सबसे कमी न्याय व्यवस्था की है. आज 1 साल से जनवरी से लेकर के अब तक जितनी केसें हुई हैं, किसको न्याय मिला है? हमारे साथ तो किसी को नहीं मिला है. 2 साल हमारा हो गया, अभी तक हमको न्याय नहीं मिला है. तो दोनों ही सरकारें थी, तब भी थी, अभी तो उससे मतलब नहीं कि सरकार किसकी है और कब किसकी रहेगी. इससे मतलब हमें तो समस्या है तो समाधान चाहिए, और समस्या का समाधान इतना ही है कि दिल्ली पुलिस जैसे है केंद्र की वैसे ही एक सरकार चाहिए, सरकार को भी चाहिए पुलिस.
No, but this hasn't been done. The Aam Aadmi Party fought for this. It never happened. And now you will say that yes, the Delhi police should come under the Delhi government. But the reality is, now you, Shifali, have Shika, have an opportunity to try and set this right. Where Prime Minister Modi, if he believes the Delhi police should come under the Delhi government, must now push the Home Ministry to get this done. There's a great sense of deja vu that we have these discussions after a rape takes place. 2 years later, we are back to discussing exactly the same issues.
See, I don't think that this is the only solution to all these.
No, but what do you have to say to his solution?
This is one of it. This is one of them. Definitely, we've always asked for statehood. That is BJP's agenda. Always ask for statehood and for Delhi
why
police to
doesn't
come
the
under.
Ministry of Home Affairs
it
push? Now you've got Rajnath Singh
only
there.
If this,
why don't you push?
Only if Delhi gets the statehood. Only then the police would come under the state. So firstly, that process has to be completed for Delhi to come under statehood. Definitely, it's our demand. It has nothing. It is one of those factors.
So you're saying first let the BJP get elected in Delhi, then we'll push for this.
Who would give it this move ahead? Definitely. So first of all, it is statehood. It should come with the Delhi, and then only the police would come under it. And we always demanded it. It's not that now that we have shunned off that demand. It's not so. And secondly, see, we have to see this crime, particularly the rape. It is not. I think everybody would agree with me that it is not only and only the government's responsibility, because it is such a crime which is by a man against a woman. It is of a very different kind of thing where the entire identity of a woman is involved, So it has 3 perspectives. We have to deal it with socially, the psychologically, and then we have to deal with the police system. Of course, it has to be very quick, which happened in this case. And thirdly, the judicial system.
Shifali wants to rebut what you're saying. Just one second. Yes, Shifali.
I'd like to make a
the
point
judicial
over here.
system also has to be.
We can go
one by one. Yes.
we can go on forever. We can go on asking the same question forever. But when will we start prioritizing the needs of our women?
Definitely,
it has been 65 years of independence. Our discourse
You are
is
saying
not
to protest. You are saying to protest. They both protested, but what happened? What the results? We want कि some strict actions should be taken. कि जो rapist है, they should be hanged till death. और they are minor, मतलब जो भी उनका body part है, that should be cut off. तो तभी हमारे देश में कुछ हो सकता है कि मतलब जो अगला रेपिस्ट है वो ये सोचेगा कि यार नहीं मैं रेप नहीं करूंगा, इसकी ये पनिशमेंट.
But listen, I have a...
No, but
I would
forget
like-
extreme measures. Even the law as it exists hasn't yet been implemented. As Nirbhaya's
Look at-
father just said,
Yeah.
he's still waiting for justice 2
Look
years
at
later.
Justice Verma committee report.
We
It
said
has
this
not
police
been
safeguard us,
implemented.
but police are also included in all these rapes. You can see in so many police stations, as I already saw in news, कि वहाँ पर कितने सारे जो what I can say constables थी, लेडी constables थी, वो सब वर्जिन नहीं थी, उनका भी रेप हो चुका था. आजकल हमारी पुलिस ऐसे काम कर रही है, तो हम किससे क्या एक्सपेक्ट करें? कौन हमें सेफ गार्ड करेगा? हम किससे उम्मीद रखें कि वो हमें प्रोटेक्ट करेंगे?
जहां तक जस्टिस वर्मा कमेटी की रिपोर्ट की बात है, जो निर्भया कांड के बाद लिखी गई थी और उसके सारे जो रूल्स थे इम्प्लीमेंट होने थे, आज 2 साल हो चुके हैं. जस्टिस वर्मा कमेटी ने चाहे महिला की सुरक्षा की मुद्दा हो या फिर उनकी पुलिसिंग का मुद्दा हो या फिर सेफ्टी का मुद्दा हो, क्राइसिस सिक्योरिटी का मुद्दा हो, पुलिस इन्वेस्टिगेशंस का मुद्दा हो, मुझे एक चीज बता दीजिए कि इनमें से कौन सा रिकमेंडेशन
देखिए,
You know,
इम्प्लीमेंट
the very
हुआ है?
unfortunate. We've spoken to Nirbhaya's parents. I now want to speak to the Rohtak Bravehearts. And I want to ask them, what according to them is the solution? आप बताएं, आप देख रहे हैं कि निर्भया के रेप के बाद भी 2 साल बाद हम देखते हैं कि उसी तरह का वाकया होता है. आपके हिसाब से अगर महिलाओं को महफूज फील कराना है, सुरक्षित फील कराना है, तो क्या सोल्यूशन?
देखिए मैंने सोचा था कि अगर लड़कियां विरोध करती है तो शायद ही सॉल्यूशन निकल आता है, बट मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि मैं 50% गलत हूँ. जस्ट बिकॉज अगर लड़कियां विरोध करती है तो एक सिचुएशन ऐसी आती है कि समाज है जो हमारा लड़कियों के करैक्टर पर उंगली उठाना स्टार्ट कर देता है. लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूँगी जिस तरह से निर्भया को आज तक इंसाफ नहीं मिला. अरे आज राज्य जो हमारी अदालत है उसमें है, फिर स्टेट में, फिर सेंटर में, ये होता रहता है. अरे जस्ट उसी टाइम उसे सजा क्यों नहीं मिलती? अगर कोई रेपिस्ट है या कोई छेड़खानी कर रहा, अगर उसे उस टाइम सजा मिल जाए, ऐसा ना हो कि इस अदालत से निकाल कर नेक्स्ट अदालत में, नेक्स्ट अदालत में, ऐसा कब तक चलता रहेगा? फिर डेट पे डेट आए रहेंगी, हियरिंग है, आज हियरिंग कैंसिल हो गई, आज ये वो बहाने चलते रहते हैं हर किसी के. पीएम ने कह दिया कि लड़कियों से क्वेश्चन ना किए जाए, लड़कों से क्वेश्चन किए जाए. मैडम इस बात को हर बार आगे लेके आते हैं. अरे ये तो अपने पेजेस पे ले आते हैं, अपने आंकड़े सुना देते हैं कि हाँ हमने ये किया, हमने वो किया. अरे आम जनता से पूछो उन पर क्या बीतती है जब लड़कियों को छेड़ा जाता, क्या 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 फेस करना पड़ता लड़कियों को. आज हमने उनका विरोध किया तो भी फेस करना पड़ता. निर्भया ने विरोध नहीं किया तो भी निर्भया को फेस करना पड़ा. वीरा ने विरोध नहीं किया तो वीरा को फेस करना पड़ा. हर बार लड़कियां फेस क्यों करे? अगर आरोपियों को सजा मिल जाए तो लड़कियों का जो ये फेस करने की जो सिचुएशन आती है मेरे ख्याल से वो खत्म ही हो जाएगी.
Very good.
This is an important point. I think, Rajesh, you need to respond. The fact that 2 years have passed since Nirbhaya, and even then, we haven't seen justice being delivered. Justice has been announced, but not yet delivered.
No, but I think the conviction has taken place insofar as Nirbhaya is concerned. But I don't know why you're asking me this question, because really it's now the...
No, but you had the longer of the 2 stints. You had 1.5 years
No,
of
but-
this 2
no,
year
but I
period is
think-
with you.
I think Rahul-
सर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ कि 6 महीने पहले तो आपकी सरकार थी ना हरियाणा में, रोहतक में दो जो लड़की थी उन्होंने सुसाइड कर लिया था सिर्फ इसलिए कि लड़के उनके साथ छेड़छाड़ करते थे. वो मेरे कॉलेज की थी, IC कॉलेज की. और उसके बाद तुरंत 2 महीने बाद एक लड़की पर एसिड अटैक हुआ. तब भी तो कांग्रेस सरकार थी. कांग्रेस ने क्या किया? आज बीजेपी सरकार है. हमारे करैक्टर पे इतनी उंगलियां उठाई जा रही है जिसकी जिम्मेवार मैं बीजेपी सरकार को ठहराती हूँ. जस्ट बिकॉज अगर उन्होंने इंक्वायरी नहीं की थी तो क्यों रिवार्ड घोषित किया? हमारे करैक्टर पर उंगली उठी तो इस बात को लेकर उठी कि सरकार ने भी अपना रिवार्ड वापस ले लिया. तो मैं क्या समझू इस पे? सरकार क्या करती है? आती है, बोल देती है, दूसरे पर इल्जाम लगाते देती है. विपक्ष पार्टी बोलती है मैं आऊंगा तो ये करूंगा, मैं आऊंगा तो वो करूंगा. जब आती है तो बोल देती है टाइम चाहिए. चाहिए, टाइम चाहिए। अरे टाइम टाइम के चक्कर में लड़कियों को क्यों पीसा जाता है? हम हमेशा लड़कियों को घुट घुट कर जीना पड़ता है। कब ऐसा टाइम आएगा कि लड़कियां खुली हवा में आराम से सांस ले सकती है? मैं आप सबसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, आम आदमी से भी, बीजेपी से भी, कांग्रेस से भी, अरे तीनों सरकार आई है, कोई ये बता दे कि हमने ये कदम उठाया। ये बना देते कानून कि लड़कों के साथ ऐसा होगा, लड़कों के साथ ऐसा होता है, जब लेकिन कानून लगाने की बात आती है, आज मामला इस कोर्ट में है, अदालत में।
This is a very important point. I think, Shikha, you must respond to this. The manner in which their character has been assassinated. You know, it'll really make girls wonder whether it's worth fighting back. You know, you look at the pains they went through, and your government, the Manohar Lal Khattar government in Haryana, first announces an award, then takes it back, casting aspersions on the credibility of the story put out by these girls.
See, I don't have the facts before me.
Oh, that's
I
very
don't know.
convenient.
See,
आप अपना टीवी देखती है, मतलब पूरी
आपको पता नहीं है, अरे पूरी दुनिया को, लंदन, कनाडा, पेरिस,
everybody has seen it through media only.
नहीं पता,
It
पूछे
is not so.
हो
Let
रही
me
थे
just
इतने दिन से,
complete.
अरे
As
10
far
दिन
as
से
I'm-
केस उछला हुआ है, हमारे साथ ये हो रहा है, वो हो रहा है, तो मैडम को ये नहीं पता कि हमारे साथ हुआ क्या है। तो हम
मुझे
क्या
सब
बोले?
मालूम है जी आपके साथ
मैडम,
क्या
वहाँ पे भी
हुआ
तो
है।
आपकी
सबने
सरकार
टीवी
है।
के थ्रू ही देखा है, जो भी कुछ हुआ है वो टीवी के थ्रू सबने
मैं
देखा है।
आपसे एक बात पूछना चाहती
सुनिए
हूँ, मैडम,
सुनिए,
कि
मेरे को बात तो
सरकार
कहने
टीवी
दीजिए।
चलाती है,
देखिए,
सरकार टीवी चलाती है क्या? ये पूछना चाहती
तो
हूँ।
आपका
सरकार तो
मामला
बीजेपी
तो टीवी
चलाती
के थ्रू ही
होगी।
देखा है ना सबने। मैं यही कहना
नहीं,
चाह
पर
रही हूँ
इनका
कि
बहुत
मैंने
इंपॉर्टेंट
directly-
सवाल है
मैंने
कि आपने
directly
अवार्ड अनाउंस किया।
facts-
एक सेकंड, आप
Let
सुन
me
लें,
just-
आप घुमाइए मत।
जी,
सवाल
घुमाने की
सुनिए।
मुझे बात तो आपने
आपकी
करनी
सरकार
ही
ने
थी।
अवार्ड अनाउंस किया,
जी,
क्या आपने सिर्फ टीवी रिपोर्ट पर अनाउंस किया,
देखिए, मैं
फिर
अपनी
आपने
बात
अवार्ड
कह रही
वापस
हूँ
ले
कि
लिया?
मैंने
अब
facts
लोग
को-
सोच रहे हैं
Let
कि
me
इनकी
just
स्टोरी
Rahul
सही
जी-
है कि नहीं, तो ये तो आपकी सरकार की गलती है ना।
मैंने फैक्ट्स टीवी के थ्रू देखे हैं। वॉट एवर द इन्वेस्टिगेशन हैज बीन डन, आई डोंट नो एट द पुलिस लेवल व्हाट हैज बीन डन, व्हाई देयर अवार्ड सैंक्शन टू देम वाज टेकन बैक। दिस इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से। I have seen their videos through TV only. I was appreciating it. It is not so.
नहीं केवल
कोई भी पॉलिटिशियन, वो भी बाप है, वो भी बेटा है, वो भी बहन है, वो भी माँ है, कोई पॉलिटिशियन ये नहीं चाहेगा कि उसके यहाँ, उसके देश में, उसकी बच्चियों के साथ किसी तरह का भी दुर्व्यवहार हो। सो लेट्स नॉट टेक इट कि एवरी पॉलिटिशियन वांट्स दिस और ए गवर्नमेंट वांट्स दिस। We should not politicize the issue. We should take up and go to the solutions. That's what I'm saying. वो बहुत सही कह रहे हैं कि ये political parties के discuss करने का issue नहीं है, हमें किसी ना किसी solutions में पहुंचना चाहिए।
In fact, I think a political party, the political party should be held accountable for something like this. And for you particularly, I would like to make a point. Not only were the intentions of these girls questioned, their clothing was also questioned by none other than Hindu Mahasabha, who said they should not dress in a bad way, one that titillates men. I want to ask everybody in this room, fine, a girl is not wearing the appropriate clothes, but whose nazar is it? Whose eyes are it? Is it their fault? Is it their fault?
That is where the social perception
But do you
comes in.
I want to ask some of the boys here.
That is what I'm saying.
What do you make of the fact that 2 years after Nirbhaya we're back to discussing the same issue?
आई एम सेइंग दैट रोहतक गर्ल्स का ड्रेसअप पे क्वेश्चन उठा था, तो ये बताइए कि 4 साल की लड़की ने क्या जींस पहनी हुई थी और शॉर्ट ड्रेसेस पहनी हुई थी जो उसका रेप हुआ।
Very good point.
बताइए उसकी क्या गलती थी।
That's a good point.
बिल्कुल, that's
A
right.
woman, if she
Yes,
raises,
who wants to raise a question? Yes, just one by one. Yes.
मैम, एक रेप होता है ना, तो एक इंसान मरता है, एक वो मर जाती है आत्मा लड़कियों की, जिसका भी रेप होता है। आप उसको सजा देने में कितने दिन लगा लेते हैं और फिर भी वो जिंदा रहता है, और वो छूट जाता है।
देखिए इस केस में तो,
And in this case as well, the driver had committed a prior rape and yet he was out. Yes.
पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज ऑन कैमरा बोलती है कि हम ये कर देंगे, मतलब ये सब चीज़ कर रहे होते, मतलब जब बैक जाते हैं उसके बाद तो पॉलिटिकल पार्टी कुछ बोलती नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं करती, बस ऐसे ही देखते हैं, क्राइम बढ़ता जाता है, जिसकी वजह से मतलब पुलिस केस कोई अटेम्प्ट भी ले वो नहीं, वो अवॉइड नहीं पाती, कुछ भी नहीं आती थी।
Okay. I want to go to that young lady in the corner. Just one by one.
Rahul.
Just one by one. I want to hear from some of these young
Rahul,
people.
just let me make a
Yes,
point because so
just
much
one
has
second.
been said about political parties. I think it's good for.
सर, अब अगर ये कॉमन लोगों के साथ होता है, रेप हुआ तो ठीक है। अगर ये किसी पॉलिटिकल, अगर कोई पॉलिटिकल है, उनकी किसी बेटी बहन के साथ रेप हो ना, तो वो लोग तुरंत इसके लिए लॉ बनेंगे, तुरंत ये इम्प्लीमेंट होंगे। हम लोग के लिए कुछ नहीं किया जा रहा
है कि अभी जो बीजेपी की मैम जो कह रही हैं, लास्ट ईयर 2 years बैक वही सेम चीज़ कांग्रेस कह रही थी, और जब बीच में आपका आया था तो जो उनके उसमें रेप हुए थे वो भी सेम चीज़ कहते, तो जो वो लोग बोल रहे हैं वो तो सेम है। कहीं एक सॉलिड एक्शन तो लिया नहीं गया। पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज के बीच में हम लड़कियां पिस क्यों रही हैं? I just want to say कि हमें solution words में नहीं चाहिए. We just want to see the solution, the environment, that we are safe. We are going outside and we are safe.
I think those are very important words. And
Rahul,
let those
let
be
me just make a
the
point
last
on
words.
this.
We're finished on time. Just
No,
20 seconds. Yes, Prajesh.
Just one more.
Quickly.
See, I think this is my personal feeling, Rahul. And I feel that unless we, as a political system, right, as a political system, we don't work together, right, and finish this menace once and for all. I think we as political system have failed the people, right, and the people will lose all faith in us.
No,
so I
people,
think the faster we do
Because
it, the better it is for us.
After Nirbhaya, there was a huge amount of unseen anger, and people thought that this anger will force change. 2 years later, unfortunately, there's only deja vu. That anger hasn't led to concrete change. We are back to discussing the same issues. You're saying people will lose faith. I'm afraid people are already losing faith, and that doesn't bode well for us as a people, as a citizenry, and as a country. To all our guests for joining us on this special town hall, I want to say a big thank you. We're also hoping that some of this leads to change. I think that is important. And if it doesn't, we'll be back 2 years later discussing once again. You've got a poem that you want to end with. Yes, tell us. What is it?
I would like to say a few lines regarding this. लड़कों जैसी लड़कियां भी माँ की कोख से पैदा होती हैं. आंखें उनकी लड़कों जैसी पैदा होते खुलती हैं. सांसें उनकी बेदर्दी सी कोख में ही दब जाती हैं. उनको हक है जीने का, वो भी जीना चाहती हैं. उनको हक है जीने का, वो भी जीना चाहती हैं.
उनको हक है जीने का, वो भी जीना चाहती हैं. सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात यही है, उस जीने के अधिकार को, that right to life has to be guaranteed by the state and ensured that it doesn't get trampled on. I want to thank all our guests for joining us. We're slipping into a quick break. News and updates continue when we come back on the other side.